You know, the whole idea of zombies in video games, the whole thing's kind of overused. We've had zombies in shopping malls, we had zombies on LA highways, we had zombies in space. Well, technically zombies in Spaceland, but like still, you get what I'm saying. The point I'm trying to make is no matter how many times a gaming company tries to reimagine the whole zombie survival emulator for their video games, not a single one of them managed to do it the way Rockstar did it with Undead Nightmare. Undead Nightmare is a third-person single-player DLC released for Red Dead Redemption on October 26, 2010. Even though it's not canon, you can still kind of look at it as an expansion for the single-player campaign, Red Dead Redemption. Now, mind you, this is 2010. The whole zombies in video games was kind of played out already. We had zombies in Call of Duty, we had Dead Rising, and they introduced all that like goofy customization shit in Dead Rising 2. I loved it, just saying. They went far and beyond. We had Dead Island. I don't think Lollipop Chainsaw was out at the time, but it's around there. The point is, everybody was trying to get a hand in the whole zombie game, and with Rockstar, not only did they do it, but they added their own little twist to the zombie genre by having it take place during the era of the Wild West. Which in my opinion is clever, because if you're gonna hop on a trend, you might as well add your own style to it. Alright, so the game goes like this. We open up with John Marston riding through the forest on his way back home to Jack and Abigail, and he's riding through this storm. And what I love about it so far is that the intro kind of eases you into the theme and the atmosphere of the game. Like, they have this cold narration with this creepy ass music in the background, and like right off the bat you kind of get this feeling like, oh yeah, this is about to be some shit.
As he drives home one evening from an errand, he ponders whether a man can ever escape his past. He is a man who is ready for anything. Almost anything.
Okay, so John makes it to Jack and Abigail. He greets them. Jack tells John some story of a book he's reading, and the events of the story kind of gives you a hint on how the game itself is going to go and how it ends, but that's besides the point. After questioning where Uncle is, they all go to sleep, only to be woken up in the middle of the night by a zombified Uncle. Uncle starts snacking on Abigail's neck, Abigail starts snacking on Jack's neck, and just like that, everybody's zombies. John kills Uncle, he wraps up Abigail and Jack, while displaying complete lack of knowledge of what was going on in the situation, which I don't blame him. It's like 1911, I don't even think they know what zombies are at the time. He locks up the house so they can be safe, and then he ventures off to find a cure. After replaying Undead Nightmare, something I've noticed in the beginning that I admire is they don't tell you shit. Think of it like this, in games like Dead Rising 1, they literally tell you everything that's going on. They have a character explain to you everything that's happening in this situation and what they're trying to do to get out of it. We trapped in a mall, there's zombies outside, this is what we gotta do and this is what we are doing. They don't do that with Undead Nightmare. These are one of those games where you know as much as the main character knows, and John doesn't know shit. So in a way, it kind of encourages you to keep going and investigate the situation at hand. Now, as I said, Undead Nightmare is DLC, but the controls are exactly the same as Red Dead Redemption 1. Kinda. The weapons are the same with the addition of a torch used to kill zombies. The Deadeye is the same, the gunplay is the same, everything relatively is the same. But you can't play it like you would Redemption 1's campaign. You know the whole headshot only rule in zombie movies that we see? Rockstar took that and they ran with it all the way. See, in most zombie games, obviously the headshot is the kill shot, but you can take multiple body shots, do whatever, and you can still take out the zombies. It doesn't work like this. It has to be a headshot. You can shoot a zombie 7 times in the chest, the motherfucker won't go down. It has to be a headshot. Mind you, in this game, there's times you have hordes of the motherfuckers coming at you. So you can't just aim and shoot every time. You have to really utilize your Deadeye. I think I've used my Deadeye in Undead Nightmare more times than I ever did in Redemption 1. Granted, if you have a shotgun and you aim slightly above the chest and below the neck, it might count as a kill shot, but you won't know unless they get back up. And I like that because I feel like it adds an extra layer of difficulty to the game. You can't just run around and shoot whatever like it's online or campaign. You actually have to use accuracy. If it's not a headshot, it's not going down. And to make matters worse or better, with the zombies, you don't get the typical zombies that you see in movies. They also add different variants. There's tank zombies that bulldoze you if they run quick enough. There's regular zombies like you see here. There's zombies that spit acid at you. And there's hunchback zombies that run faster than others. There's variety is what I'm trying to say. And with that variety comes danger. So as I said, utilize the Deadeye. You also get little zombie dogs running around trying to kill people. So I guess that's cool too. Outside of doing missions, you can also liberate towns. From McFarland's Ranch to Blackwater to Tumbleweed. If you see a question mark over it, it's a town to be liberated. You'll walk in, you see a whole gang of zombies trying to invade the town. You defend the town by killing the zombies, and by doing that, you're able to unlock safe houses and spawn points in the map. Speaking of which, when it comes to firearms and ammunition, there's no gun stores in Undead Nightmare. So after you liberate these maps, in order for you to find ammo, there's these little green dots that you find on the map. You go over to them, they're treasure chests, you open them up, and that's how you get your ammunition. You can also find them on corpses, but unless the corpse has a gun belt, you're not going to find anything. So these treasure chests are your main source of ammo. Now as for weapons, you can also get them by liberating forts, but some of the weapons you get them throughout the campaign itself. Now unlike the campaign, the atmosphere of this game is just eerie. Like the light is dimmed, there's a constant fog everywhere, there's this creepy ass music in the background. It kind of reminds me of one of those cliches, like it's quiet, it's too quiet. You hear that shit in movies? Yeah, it's just like that. I like it because with that, you feel like you're playing a whole new game, even though this is really just an expansion pack. The game makes you feel like you have to constantly look over your shoulder because something might be running up on you. It's creepy as hell, but I love it. Also, this is kind of small, but I like the fact that the horses have unlimited sprinting. An issue I had with the first Redemption game was that the sprint meter for the horses went out too quick. In this one, you don't got to worry about that. Like, you can literally run forever. I get to destinations quicker, and I'm able to run faster if I get swarmed by a horde. Now, Undead Nightmare is fun as hell, but something I love that I think is the main thing you might notice about this game is I believe Undead Nightmare takes its shot at satire. I think this whole thing is satire. Whether it's John or the people he meets during the story, there's always these moments where the game makes this comment about cliches or tropes in both zombie movies and horror movies. Like for example, in the beginning of the game where you meet up with the professor in Blackwater, John is telling the professor like, hey, I think you should stay with me. Like, I think you're safer with me. And the professor's like, hey, yeah, you're right, but give me 1 second. I just gotta go down this long, dark, and lonely road and get my bag. And then the camera just stops and it zooms down that long, dark, and lonely road, and it just stays there for a second, which is kind of like making fun of the whole let's split up trope in horror movies.
Could you just wait a sec here, would you please? I'm going to wander down that lonely, deserted street and get my bag.
Wait, you should stay with me, Professor. You haven't got a gun.
Oh, no, it's okay. There's no need to worry. Everyone's already dead.
Now obviously the scene ends with the professor getting killed by getting eaten by a zombie as it would in a horror movie, but I kind of like that little nod. And if that one isn't believable, they also take another shot at zombie movies further in the game where John meets up with a filmmaker, and this film dude, he's like, yeah, I want to make a zombie movie where the movie's about zombies eating people and everybody's trapped and they're scared, blah blah blah. And John, he looks at him, he's like, what kind of sick fuck would watch something like that?
Man turned against man. Kind-hearted neighbors turned into savage, flesh-eating monsters. This hit, it'll make a fantastic movie.
Who would enjoy that?
What?
What kind of sick person would like that?
It's like he broke the fourth wall without actually breaking the fourth wall by kind of taking shots at people who enjoy zombie movies, or anything zombie in particular. Or better yet, with the scenes with Herbert Moon, where, and I'm not about to play his clip because I'm not about to get like banned or whatever the fuck. Or better yet, the Herbert Moon scenes. I think that whole conversation between John and Herbert about everything he hates in the country was them taking a satirical shot at politics. Well, the politics out at the time, it was like 2010. Now, I'm not gonna add his clip into this because I don't want, due to the new policies, I don't want what he's saying to affect my video. I don't know if it can. Just know he was talking crazy. The point I'm trying to make is moments like these are scattered throughout the game, which is why I feel like this isn't just some generic zombie third-person shooter. In a way, this is satire. Now, I don't know if that's the main point of Undead Nightmare, but it's a point nonetheless. Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare for me is a great reminder of what a DLC or an expansion should be. The story itself was like 3 to 4 hours long, while adding activities that you can do on the side to pass the time. With a lot of these DLCs, you know, normally like shooters or whatever, they're like new maps, new skins, new whatever. There's not enough content for some of these DLCs. With this one, it's more content, more adventures, more everything. It was a great game to play because of the entertainment it provided, but it was also a fun experience to laugh at because of its options of satire. Undead Nightmare isn't just a good DLC, it's also a good zombie game, and if you get the chance, I think you should play it. Granted, the controls are kind of somewhat clunky because, you know, the game came out in 2010, but I think it's fun. Outside of the clunky controls, I think you'll really enjoy it if you pick it up. And with that, that's the end of our episode of Reggie TV. I hope y'all enjoyed the video as much as I did making it. Kind of like what I said with the DLC, like I don't mind, you know, like the new maps or skins or whatever for some of the new DLCs. I just mean like they should add more to the stories that they give you in the games. Undead Nightmare itself could have been its own video game, and I really appreciate Rockstar for making this. This shit was a staple in a lot of our childhoods. Nonetheless, that's all I got for y'all. I'll see y'all on the next one. Next video is going to be Hogwarts Legacy. I just had to get this Undead Nightmare out the way, so I'll see y'all on that one, man. I'm out.